Helldivers 2 is out, and it has exceeded everyone's expectations, including Arrowhead and Sony, apparently, as they are still working to get the servers up to the demand. The original game had a hardcore, but a very small fan base, and there wasn't actually a ton of hype leading up to the sequel. But Helldivers 2 is bringing us all back to when multiplayer games were just pure fun and chaos, and it's really been a breath of fresh air, and a lot of people have taken notice. But where do we go from here? How does Helldivers evolve? And can the hype for this game last forever? Dr. Pooplove here, and let's get right into it. And what's immediately next, and most important for this game, at least if they want to last, is they have to fix these server issues. Right now, we are dealing with these server caps, and this is stunting this game's growth. Arrowhead was not expecting these types of numbers, but if they and Sony don't find a fix soon, they may never realize their true potential. Now, lately I've been able to get into games a lot better, a lot more consistently, but really think Sony and Arrowhead need to figure this out and fix this once and for all so that Helldivers 2 can reach its full potential. But what can we expect after that's fixed? Well, I think we can eventually expect more and faster support. The CEO, Johan Pilestedt, who is awesome by the way, he even told people to wait and not buy the game until the servers are fixed. This is also a breath of fresh air, as the normal greedy CEO thing to do is to just try to get more sales regardless of the issues. Anyways, Johan has stated that they are hiring up their team like crazy after this success. Arrowhead currently is about 100 developers at this point, so by hiring up a bigger workforce, they can start delivering more faster. But what is that more? Well, for one, we have heard that there will be more biomes to explore. So far, the biomes have been pretty cool, and while I'm definitely not tired of the current list of biomes, I have noticed that some planets are essentially the same, like these multiple snowy planets we have seen. So more variety is definitely welcome here. What we can also expect is more objectives. While most of the fun I'm having is definitely in the combat, I definitely would like some different types of modes to play. I actually really love the complicated terminal setups that you have to do during these huge firefights, and I definitely would welcome more of that. And to be honest, I would love them to be even more complicated and challenging. Maybe even to the extent of something like a raid where co-op will definitely be necessary and be a way to truly shine. Now, what we can also expect are things like mechs coming to the game, because they have been teased. And these were in the first game, and honestly, some vehicles in general might be nice, especially as you do spend a lot of time walking from location to location. And I imagine the chaos of vehicles would make for some more interesting fun as well. Now, I think it's a safe bet that we can also expect more factions to play against. Like in the first game, they did have the Illuminate, and they are kind of teasing them in the Super Earth news. So they could introduce them, but I'm more excited for even more creative types of factions, like the kinds of aliens that they could introduce, and hopefully humongous boss creatures as well. That takes a lot to take down. Another safe bet is eventually we'll likely get more guns and stratagems, hopefully with their own unique traits to really let us spec out our loadouts and hone in on our playstyle. And then of course, we can expect more universe shifting events. The devs have explained that they have set this game up in many ways like a tabletop RPG, where they are the game masters, and the story of the game gets to be decided by the players. As such, the devs will make major changes to the worlds based on how the players play and what goals we all accomplish or don't accomplish. In many ways, we can expect this game to dramatically shift and change, and I'm excited for how us players will get to control the trajectory of this game. Now, one thing we cannot expect from Helldivers 2 is PvP. The CEO has stated that he has no intentions to ever bring PvP to this game, as it can create a toxic environment. And honestly, it makes sense. I don't really know how PvP would work in Helldivers 2, at least not in a balanced way with stratagems especially. On a personal level, I have been craving a solid tactical third-person PvP shooter, as honestly, there hasn't really been anything good in that realm since The Last of Us Factions in 2013. But understandably, I will have to hope that that comes to another game instead of Helldivers 2. to fill that void, and I'm okay with that. Of course, all these updates and what we can expect will all be made more clear when Arrowhead finally releases their roadmap, which they have said that they plan to do. This will give us a sense of when we can expect some of these things to occur and really what's on the horizon. And I do hope that Arrowhead is able to keep this game alive, because to be honest, this is the most fun I've had in gaming in a long time. In fact, the only reason I've had the time to stop playing and make this video is because the servers are currently down. This game is addicting. But while we wait for some of these things to come to fruition, if you want to check out some tips to get good at Helldivers, then you should check this video out. And I want to say a special thank you to my YouTube members for supporting the Bowel Movement and spreading the poop love. But otherwise, so long, Pooper Troopers.